Don't forget to
like us on Facebook at facebook.com/HellaAverageGaming. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/HellaAverageGaming, average spelled AVG. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Follow us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/HellaAverageGaming. Listen to us on Stitcher, check us out on iTunes, and make sure to listen to us on Google Play.
And with all that said and done, let's get to it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to episode 103 of the Hella Average Games cast. The gang is all here this week, which is amazing. I've got everybody, Carmin, Jeremy on the mics. What's happening, fellas?
What's up? It's good to hear you again, Mr.
Yeah, we're glad to see you can make it back, boy.
Yeah. I was feeling rough last week. I didn't feel sick. Well, I felt sick, but I wasn't hurting anywhere. I just had the nastiness. So I've been sleeping early and trying to get better, so I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, that crud can hit you hard sometimes.
Sometimes it's crazy. Sometimes it hurts, man. Makes me not want to do anything. I'm an unproductive fuck when it happens. Kind of like Jeremy, all the time.
Hey, I was going to say, you got to modify that to all the time, baby.
But we're back to talk about video games. There's not a whole lot of news this week, just a few stories, a couple of really good ones. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get going, you got to hear what we've been playing, and I'm sure that some of us have been playing video games. So why don't you kick us off, Jeremy, and let us know what you've been playing?
Well, I actually played my Switch this week. I downloaded the Castlevania collection for it. I've been playing pretty much all the games on there except for Castlevania Adventure. I played a little bit of the first 3 games. I played a lot of Super Castlevania 4. Played Bloodlines. I think after like the 3rd stage, I got stuck. It's the only one I haven't played. Played a little bit of Kid Dracula, which is kind of like a spin-off, and it's okay. Before we started recording, I was playing Castlevania 2 on the Game Boy, which is also pretty good. But overall, I'm really liking it. Worth $20.
Now, is that the one that we talked about a little while back that had all those games in it?
Yes.
The one I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got 8 games. Totally worth it.
So you're not just playing through one; you're playing through a bunch at the same time.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know how you do that.
Well, it's pretty much just that you walk to the right, you whip shit, and jump. That's all it is.
I've never liked playing multiple games at one time. For some reason, it's just weird. I don't know. I just don't. I like focusing on one game at a time.
I think that's because I'm the opposite. I have a hard time focusing. That's why I like to play a lot of different things at once. That's why I get nothing done. So I'm playing like.
I think we should change that word focusing to finishing.
Exactly. I play 8 games, but I don't finish one.
It's just the experience that matters.
Exactly. I'll probably. I mean, these are short games, so I'll probably finish at least 1 or 2. I want to finish Bloodlines. I'm really liking Bloodlines. That's the one on the Genesis, because I never had a chance to play that. I'm probably going to look up a guide, though, because I literally got to a spot where there's a gap I can't seem to jump over, but I don't know what I have to do. Like, there's no way you can make this jump. And I go back in the previous room, but there's nowhere to go. So I'm stuck. I don't know if there's a trick. But game's good, other than that.
There's a term for that, Jeremy. It's called get good.
Well, this ain't getting good. This is finding out what the fuck you're supposed to do.
So what else have you been has I been taking up most of your time on the Switch?
Yeah, other than that, I've just been playing a little Super Nintendo, playing my arcade game. Got the high score on Final Fight. So you guys got to beat 1,976,000 points.
You got your chalkboard up yet? Keep track of them high scores?
I do, but actually the machine's actually keeping track of the high scores, which I find odd. So I'm actually.
Oh, I thought you said last week that it wasn't doing that.
Well, the Street Fighter one doesn't do that. It resets every time, but since this is a new model, I think they might have finally fixed that problem, because it's kept my high scores for all 4 games, which the only one that's impressive is Final Fight. I mean, like Ghouls and Ghosts, I barely cracked the top 5. And 1944, I think I barely cracked the top 5. Strider, I think I didn't even crack the top 5, so.
Strider is fun as fuck.
It is fun, but it's a lot harder than I remember. Like, all the other games on there, if you once you lose all your lives, it resets your score, so it's a lot harder to get a high score. versus Final Fight. You just keep going as long as you just keep popping in quarters.
When I come over there, I want to see 10 million on there, okay?
Which game?
On Strider.
Strider? Yeah, good luck. I don't think it's possible.
I want you to play it so hard it runs out of memory and all you see is garbledness on the right side of the screen.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it stops at 6 figures, so 10 million's going to be a little hard.
I saw a cool article the other day. It was the guy who, I forget his name, but it's the same guy that used to be the best Donkey Kong player in the world, but they said he ended up cheating.
Billy Mitchell, I think?
Yeah, maybe. I think that's his name. And but he was talking about he's also holds the highest score in Pac-Man, and he got so far that the game actually ran out of memory, and the last level that you can play, only half the screen works. The other half is like computer, like symbols and stuff. Like it only half registers. That happened.
I think that happened to that guy me and Carm were watching, the Tetris guy. Didn't he got like level 3 like 30 and it went like 3A, it was just a bunch of garbled mess or something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That just means you broke the game literally.
Yeah, you were so good you broke it.
So what else you been playing, Jamie? Was that it?
That was it.
Carmin, buddy, what you been doing? I think I know, but tell the world.
I've been playing some Rocket League. To no avail. I've been playing like crapola. It's been a frustrating few nights of Rocket League and just some bad play. Me and Will are on tilt, I should say. So we're trying to get out of that funk. And then I've been playing The Division. I need to get back in there. I've taken like 2 days off, so I need to go grind out some gear and try to work up some respecs, see what I can make happen, and then I want to try to do the raid either tonight or tomorrow.
I can definitely get in on the raid because I want to try it. And I also want to work on the chatterbox. Hear that gun rips.
Yeah, well, that's the exotic LMG.
The exotic SMG.
Ooh. Okay.
You just got to go farm keys.
Let's get it.
So the Division's probably been your main game, right?
For the most part, yeah. That's mainly what I've been playing. I played a little Tetris Effect just for shits and giggles. Beat the last stage 2 more times in journey mode.
Just to show me up.
Just to do it. Just to say I did it again.
Did you giggle and shit while you did it?
I shit and giggled.
Oh, okay. But you didn't giggle and shit.
No. Two totally different actions.
Okay. Gotcha. One's more impressive than the other, I would think. But they're both impressive when you do it.
That's about it. That's all I've been playing. And then I'm playing Tap Titans every day. That's normal.
Titans. How's that update treating you? You got to all the big
update's good. The raid update has been fun.
Can you run it like once a week or something?
Because they don't know how to play.
Do you run it like once a week?
The raids are you have like a 24-hour prep period, so that like basically lets everybody get ready for the raid, and then you have 3 days to finish it. And right now we're like farming. We're making sure that we can kill things at the beginning of our third attack before we move on to the next zone.
This sounds intense, and when I played Tap Titans, I just felt like there was no point to just sit there and just go into the levels.
Well, that's the point of the game, to just go into the levels. So if you don't like that model of game, it's not going to suit your needs.
Okay, I just didn't know if I was missing anything on it.
No. I mean, that's it. You basically try to best your score every time you play.
Nice. Very cool, very cool. I played a little bit of Division. That's about it. Still got on the grind. Worked on those Hunter's Masks. Those are pretty cool. And then, like I said, tonight we're gonna hit the little grindy grind, and then we'll do some raiding tomorrow probably. That game's good, man. It lived up to the hype that I wanted it to be this year. I think it's hooked me pretty well, more than any other game has in a long time. And it just feels good. I mean, the mechanics are good and solid. I say it every time. It's fun now, like working on your loadout, start seeing how much damage you're doing I'm working on that damage to elite build. So, I was reading on some of the stats that were saying that some stats are better than others. So I'm trying to look and I'm going to decide how I want to run. But I think damage to elites is going to be the way to go.
Yeah, you got some catching up to do to me, son.
I do. You got more DPS than me, man. About 100K, right?
Lower gear, like some 480 gear.
I don't have. I mean, most of the gear I break down or sell if I don't need it. But like I don't have. There's a lot of materials that I don't have. I'm not sure if I'm farming the right stuff or if I need to go like do a different thing.
Electronics are what you're going to be missing most often.
And you just farm those out in the world, right?
The best place I've gotten them was inside missions.
Cool deal. But yeah, I mean, the Division's been all I've been playing. So, I love the game. I'm hooked on it. I'm excited to play tonight. Get some grub after this podcast. Get some Division in. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man.
But that's it. I mean, it's been kind of a light week for gaming. Like I said, I was feeling kind of rough. Got on a couple of days. Just I don't know. One of those weeks, you know?
Happens.
Can't be perfect all the time.
Hey, speak for yourself there.
All right, well, if that's it, you know what time it is. It's time to move into some
news.
All right, let's kick it off. And we got to kick it off on a sad note here. The Ouya is dead. So you go ahead.
I thought it was going to be a sad note.
Well, go ahead and pour one out for your dead homies. The Ouya servers are closing down. The store is closing down. No more Ouya.
Man, all 2 people who still play it will be crushed.
What made it so bad when it came out? Like, it's got a pretty rough reputation, but like, was it just not good?
Pretty much. The store was, or as I said, the hardware wasn't very good. It was weaker than most cell phones at the time. The controller was absolute fucking shit. Like, many have called it like one of the worst controllers ever made. The buttons stuck like out of the box. It was cheap plastic. The Wi-Fi connection on it was so bad. There were entire subreddits set up just to get it working. And
wow.
The games were just absolutely lackluster and ass. You know, they claimed to have over like 2,000 games on the first day. About 1,900 of those games were just like wallpapers and background shit. Like, you think
Those
the Steam
quality games?
I mean, you think the Steam store is full of crap? That was nothing but the Ouya stuff. When the best game you have on launch day is the Final Fantasy III remake that was available on DS like 5 years ago, you done fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that controller is terrible looking.
Ugh.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
literally, I was watching when I heard about it, I was watching some videos on it, and there was a guy saying like, if you ever do buy one, just throw the controller away and buy you like an 8-bit Doe controller and just rebutton everything. It's gonna be way better. I mean, it's just. Only people who've even spoke positively about it said they don't even use it for its intended purpose. They just use it for emulators. But I'm like, I don't have to spend $100 on a little box to get an emulator. I can just do it on my computer if I wanted, or just on
that's illegal, Jeremy.
On your systems.
Damn,
yeah, that's what they do.
No,
That's
yeah,
what they do now, not what I do, huh? You
Hey,
sneaky dog! I see what you did there with your wordplay.
Hey, trust me. I think if the fucking internet place is gonna care, they're gonna arrest you for owning an Ouya, not for emulating games.
Yeah, it doesn't look. I mean, I've known what the Ouya was. I just never really took a look at it, and I can understand why it was bad.
I find it really interesting because it's one of those. It was like Shovel Knight or Mighty Number 9, where it was a Kickstarter darling, an absolute success story until it actually came out, and then it fucking bombed like Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, it raised like $8.6 million or something in Kickstarter.
Yes, yeah. They only asked for like 750,000, got 8.6 million, and then made it even worse than they were ever hoping.
That's just not. It's still like not even enough money. Like to make quality hardware, you need way more money than that.
And I don't think they were making. I think they were just blowing that on fucking hookers and blow.
Apparently, they called it the PlayStation killer back in the day.
Oh yeah, they did it.
Yeah, man. PlayStation's really been downhill since the Ouya came out.
Hey, they weren't wrong because the PlayStation's killing it.
There's an article right here from Push Square. Remember Ouya, the PlayStation killer? Well, now it's dead.
I read that. Oh
shit. So yeah, so long Ouya. I think that was it's an Android base. So I wonder if that was like their first foray in the game. Like, why would you go with an Android based system?
It was their only foray. The woman running all this knew nothing about video games. Literally, there's a great video done by, I think, a guy named Crobat. It's like 5 minutes long. Shows the rise and decline of the Ouya. There was an interview where she's being interviewed by some guy about the Ouya, and she knows nothing about not only video games in general, but her own system. Like, he asked her, like, what's the one number hit title like you would have to have on the Ouya? She's just like looks off stage like, what's that game we have? Stalag Fight, I think. Yeah, that's it. She literally holds up the Ouya and she's going like look at this board. There is nothing special about the board in this. There's nothing special in here. The guy's just like, I didn't really hear a lot of people saying that their machine's not special. She's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Jesus.
She
Sounds
talks
like
about
it
how
was
her
bombing from the beginning.
Oh, dude, she talks about how her controller has a touchpad on it. No other console out has a touchpad on their controller. And the guy goes, the PS4 does. She's like, that's right. They could build one for that.
Jesus.
She was so out of touch. I don't know how she was able to get all that money.
Some people are good at blowing smoke out of their pooters.
If she was, she's not good in person. Because holy crap, she was terrible. Oh, but goddamn, was that whole thing entertaining.
Well, RIP, I'll be thinking about you when I'm playing my PlayStation 4 Pro tonight.
You'll be thinking about it when you beat your meat.
Absolutely. Jerk
Just
off
going,
to that badass controller.
Just going, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, Jeremy, talk to me about Star Ocean First Departure R.
Well, that was announced today for the Switch. Is a remake of the Super Nintendo Star Ocean. The first one in the series. I think there have been 5 so far. I have all of them. They're really good. They're space opera action RPGs. I've never played the original on the Super Nintendo since it was never released in America. But I did play the remake they had for the PSP, which was quite good. And I'm really looking forward to this. They haven't released any, like screenshots or videos. They just released like a title. But I'm really looking forward to it. I've only ever beaten Star Oceans 2 and 3. Never got around to beating 4, or the newest one, which I thought was kind of weak. But I really like the battle system in these. I like the music's really good, orchestral stuff. They're really unique in that there's like a bunch of playable characters you can recruit into your party, but you can kind of choose who you want because you have limited space. And if you recruit certain characters, other ones won't join. There's all kinds of multiple endings because you can pair up characters, romantically or friendship-wise and so forth. And just really looking forward to these games. Hopefully, if this does well, they remake Star Ocean 2, which I think was the best one.
I'm looking at some of the screenshots of the remake, I guess. Last Hope, maybe? No, maybe it's Last Hope, 4K.
No. Oh, no, that was the 4th game.
Oh, okay. Well, that looks pretty cool. I like the aesthetic of it.
I have that one, too. I got it. It's probably the weakest one. I take it back. The last one wasn't as bad. Star Ocean 4, I consider to be the weakest. It looks good, though, and it runs at 60 FPS.
It looks like, I hate to make the comparison, but it looks a lot of Final Fantasy to me.
It's very, well, it's Japanese, though, of course.
Yeah.
It's I would describe it as Final Fantasy meets Star Wars. A lot of lightsabers and beam sabers and shit.
That is very intriguing to me. I wonder if this will be one where you can just play it without having played the others.
Well, it's the first game in the series, so.
So basically they're just remaking the very first one. I got you, okay.
The very first, yeah. So
okay.
This is a good entry point at the very beginning.
And is this Square Enix who does it?
It's Enix. Actually made the original, but since Square Enix owns them now, it is Square Enix.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I might actually look into that. It's like I said a while back, I've been looking for a nice RPG, but I just haven't took the plunge yet. Because when you get into them, they're you got to dedicate some time to them.
You have to dedicate. These are long games, but they're definitely worth it. Especially, this is something I'd like to play more on a portable system. Something I can just kind of pick up, grind for a while, put down. My only hope is that they make sure to include some way, like if I come back 3 months from now, I know what the hell is going on. Just give me like a summary or a where to go kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Just keep a little quest guide or something.
Exactly, yeah, quest guide.
Those old games are notorious for just telling you one time and then you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. That's the reason I couldn't go back. And I had the first one, the PSP, and I had stopped playing it. I came back a couple years later, and I didn't know where to go. I was like, well, fuck, I'm not starting over either. Guess this is
done.
done.
So many times in early Final Fantasy games.
Yeah,
I'd just be lost. I'd be like, well, guess I got to start over.
Mm-hmm.
Notorious for that. I hated that. They didn't tell you anything. Oh, you got to go do this. See ya.
They just give you a laundry list at the beginning, expect you to remember it.
Yep.
Well, it's usually like you get to a town, they're like, okay, to start the next mission, make sure to go talk to this guy right here. And then you come back 3 months later. Who do I talk to? I guess I'll just go all around the world and talk to everyone. Like,
except for the guy you were supposed to, and then you restart the game.
Somehow that's the one person you miss every time.
Sony PSVR is not going to be remade for the PS5. They're going to go stick with the hardware they have now. So the PSVR that you have now will work with the PS5, which is cool. I mean, I don't feel like they need to remake it.
The hardware's probably ahead of its time.
Yeah, I definitely don't see a reason to upgrade it. Like, I saw where the president of Sony was just like he would like for if they could make a headset with less wires. But other than that, yeah, there's no need to upgrade it per se. But also, I wonder if this means too that they're not going to support it as much either. Because I remember when the Xbox One came out, they were all about that Kinect, and then they dropped it quick as soon as the Xbox One came out.
Kinect was just a bad piece of hardware.
Well,
yeah.
PSVR.
Yeah, everything I've seen as far as like the stuff that's come out of Sony, it seems like they're planning on supporting it. Like they consider it a success. So I don't see anything of them saying no to that.
Well, I can say the PSVR at least works. It does what it's supposed to. It's just they don't have any really killer apps for it yet, aside from like that robot game and
probably the or Resident Evil.
Well, you don't have to have the PSVR. That's the thing. Like they need some killer exclusive PSVR games.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Tetris Effect would be awesome in that, and I heard the Resident Evil 7 is quite good. But they need to have something like you have to play this in VR.
Have you heard about the Oculus Quest that just released?
No.
So the way that the VR has notoriously been set up is you have sensors that you put up in the room wherever you're doing VR. And Oculus just released a headset with no sensors that's wireless. And what you do is when you put the headset on, you trace the room virtually, and that creates boundaries. And when you step out of the boundary, it actually shows the room in black and white. And when you step back in the boundary, you're in the game. It actually looks really cool.
That's kind of neat.
It is pretty neat.
It definitely, like, reading about it, it was like, man, this would be a pretty cool piece of hardware.
I think that's one of the biggest limitations, though, is if you're going to get serious about VR, you kind of just need, like, a dedicated room in your house for it.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, with no furniture, no nothing, just the VR headset.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like, I'm even looking around my room now. I mean, I've got a little bit of room, but, you know, if you're trying to get into it, if you're trying to play some Beat Saber on hard mode, you might be knocking shit over.
Exactly.
And it's hard nowadays dedicating a full room to anything.
I mean, I've got a gaming room and it's full of shit. Can't move around for nothing in there.
Well, yeah, but you're also the bachelor, the gaming bachelor, Jeremy. You have to set yours up in your kitchen somewhere.
Sadly, that's where I got the most space.
No, your living room's pretty big. I think you could jam on it in there.
A little bit. I got that coffee table that I have to move that out of the way.
But, yeah, I mean, I think VR is fun. I mean, fine. I've even thought about getting one eventually, but I don't really want to make that purchase right now because it would just be almost just to have it, you know? There's nothing that I really want on it. I would just want to say I had it, tried it out.
Only way I'd get it is if it like was discontinued for $50, and I get that just so I could play Tetris Effect on it.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Carmin? Any interest at all?
I think VR is here to stay. I think that it's gonna. They just need to figure out a way to convince developers to push games into the hardware.
I think it's just a novelty. Like I mean, it might not necessarily go anywhere, but it's not going to do anything major, at least not in its current form.
Until it does. Something major will happen with VR, or they wouldn't push it into next gen.
I'm not seeing it.
If they can get a first party studio on it,
I think it's just too limited in its current form. Like it would have to like drastically change. Like it would have to be like augmented reality kind of stuff.
See, but that's not virtual reality. AR and VR are two totally different things.
That's what I'm saying. Like VR, you're just too limited what you can do. You know, versus just what you can do in a regular video game. There's much more options. VR doesn't have that. I think that's really holding it back.
I'm not sure I follow.
Well, I mean, like,
what are the limitations?
Everything has to be first person.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, how are you gonna do certain games that aren't FPSs?
You could easily do an RPG.
Okay, but how are you gonna do what about people who have motion sickness? Like, what about people who have motion sickness from wearing the VR?
Then they don't need to play it.
Well, then that really limits their scope again.
Well, what about people that have seizures from flashing lights? They don't get to play video games either.
I know, but there's much more people who can't stand the motion sickness than there are people who have seizures. Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, and there's just not enough strokes for the VR folks.
I think there is. I just don't think people are convinced enough to buy the hardware.
That's why, because there's just there's not any games for it.
I agree that I can't think of off the top of my head of software that's out where people are just like, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
But as far as VR as an establishment in the gaming world, I really don't like. They've been trying to push VR for years. I don't see it going anywhere. I mean, it's at the top of people's list right now for some reason.
I mean, you could do VR games over the shoulder. You could do VR games top down.
The thing is, though, like the whole point of VR is you're in the game. If it's if you're taking like Resident Evil 4, which is third person over the shoulder, what is VR really going to add?
Being in the actual world
perspective.
But you're not really in the actual world. You're still just there watching Leon do stuff.
But the stuff that you're making him do.
Yeah, but you would feel like, you're sitting on the couch, so you'd actually feel like you're inside the world, though.
I probably wouldn't. And you can do that already with, like, when the Wii came out. They had the Resident Evil 4 with the Wii motion controls. That was already basically the same thing.
That's how I played Resident Evil.
It's not on a screen in front. Yeah, that's how a lot of people, that's the vastly preferred version from what I've heard, too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, like, the only difference is it's not, like, on a helmet in front of your face.
It would just make for a more immersive experience.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's what's going to push people to spend an extra, $500 on a helmet.
We already know that the hardware purchase is the hardest jump for VR.
Oh, I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big plunge.
Literally the hardest hurdle. Like, literally, you said, like, you'd buy it if it was discontinued. Cam says he wants to buy it, but he's not sure he wants to spend the money. I don't want to buy it because I just don't want to do it.
But even then, I was only going to buy it just for, like, one game.
The only reason I want a VR headset is because I watched an interview one time that was like riding in the car with the two people that were talking, and you got to look around. I thought that was spectacular.
See, now I'll give you, VR has much more capabilities outside of gaming than it does inside gaming. Like real world applicabilities.
Yeah, like movies in VR would be great because then
absolutely.
You would get
I was just thinking
you could fuck up your experience,
yes.
But you can also really enhance your experience because if you decided to like look away or like somebody tapped you on your shoulder and like you turned your head, then you might miss something.
Mm-hmm.
But in that same breath, you'd be able to see different things that they hid in the movie. Like, imagine the Avengers in VR. Like, there's got to be all kinds of Easter eggs that people didn't catch. That if you, like, had just turned your head a little bit, you might have caught a glimpse of it,
I would say even more, like, they could make movies specifically for VR. Like, remember that Hardcore Henry movie that was all first person?
Hell yeah, that was a badass movie.
Dude, imagine that in VR. That would be fucking insane.
Yeah, I think VR has a lot of potential. Gaming might be a little bit harder to barrier entry, but like with what Carmin was saying, movies, interviews, you could watch. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about like
imagine like the best nature documentaries in VR.
Yeah,
like you're getting eaten by the fucking alligator. Like that buffalo is about to trample you.
Yeah, so I think we can all agree with that. Like it's. I'm not 100% against VR. I just don't think it has much in the world of gaming. It has much in a lot of other categories. But gaming is just too limited in what you can do.
I can appreciate your point of view there, Jeremy. I do think it's here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere. And hopefully, I mean, honestly, I hope it doesn't, and I hope they continue to make it better. Eventually, it's gonna. If they can get to the pinnacle of the hardware, the pinnacle of what's available to them, maybe those jumps won't seem so steep to get into it. It might be worth $399 if there's a lighter version of it or a wireless version or they have some awesome set of software come out. It might make it worth it at that point. Something that's not there right now. And that's what I hope happens. Let's keep on rocking. Let's not get caught up on VR because we got something cool as fuck to talk about. Have you heard, and I'm laughing because I don't know if it's all that cool. Have you heard about the handheld Game Boy-esque Playdate?
I have. It has the little crank on the side.
It's got the crank on it, yeah. It's made by the software developers who did, Firewatch? Panic is what they're called, I think. And they're making this handheld Game Boy, like, portable game system, and it cranks, that you crank it for the power. Like an old radio or one of them old cranks that you crank up for a flashlight crank or something.
Yeah, but that's like a control on its own. That's not to give it, like, power.
I thought it was to give it power.
I didn't think so. I thought it was more of, like, a piece of... It's like an additional thing to do in the games.
Oh, so I was very... I just thought it cranked for power.
Imagine that. Like, oh, fuck, I'm about to die. Crank, 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 crank,
Right?
crank, crank. No thanks.
Oh, man.
Maybe it's part of, like, a mini game or something.
Well, they said that they're going to support it with special games every week. So
Oh, so there you go. Like, they're going to be coming up with games that use that mechanic.
yeah. Okay, I see here. You have to treat your system like a fishing rod sometimes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like you'll just fucking grab it with your left hand and get to cranking with your right.
Yes.
Get that largemouth bass in.
It looks like it's coming out early 2020 at a price point of around $149.
Holy shit!
They're doing
Is
a
this
very limited run, they say.
is this a peripheral?
No, I
I'm
mean
guessing-
This
no,
is a
they're
handheld game system.
they're calling it a game
Oh.
system.
Yeah.
And they're reaching out to big developers, it looks like, but I'm not sure. Okay, so here's what they say on their Twitter. Every game is a secret. They're all included with your system, and they will be delivered to you each week for a few months. Our dream is simple. You wake up that day to play the new game.
I mean, sounds unique, but nothing I'm even remotely interested in.
Yeah, it seems like that's what they're going for. They're betting on the uniqueness, just getting it
Yeah.
to
I
sell.
mean, I can definitely give them points for creativity, but it's not something I'd want to take a plunge on.
Yeah, apparently.
They'd have to throw a killer game at us for
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
to be interested.
It sounds from the way you're describing it like a lot of these games are going to be like something you play for 5 minutes and you kind of get bored with. Kind of like the Labo games.
Yeah. It's in black and white. I don't believe it's in color either. So,
Ooh, fuck that.
um,
What is this, 1990?
they said that season 1 of games will have include 12 games, and they'll string them out over 3 months. So 1 game a week. Okay. I mean, I think it's a cool gimmick, and
Gimmick is the key.
it
Key
looks
word
cool.
there.
I mean, it looks like a toy, but I think it's a pleasing to the eye. Or is that the word I'm looking for? Pleasing to the eye.
Appeasing?
Yeah.
A pleasing
A
aesthetic.
pleasing to the eyes. It looks cheap, but it also looks cool at the same time. It's just literally a D-pad and 2 buttons and the crank. So, hey, I think that it would be a pretty cool thing to look at. And apparently they're not making them in mass either. They're making like limited runs of it just to see how it does, or maybe that's just their whole model. They'll just make a few of them here and there.
I think they're probably wary that it won't sell.
Maybe. I mean, that would.
So make maybe 100 or 200 units and then up your ante.
Who's the market on this? Kids, adults, hardcore gamers.
I'd say it's
gimmick
Christmas gifts.
I absolutely agree.
Okay.
Like, I want to buy my kid a game system, but I don't necessarily want to pay the money for the 3DS, nor do I want to buy my kid a PS4, an Xbox, or a Switch. So, let me buy him this little thing, because it'll be discounted by Christmas.
I feel you. Good outlook. I can get behind that because it would be a good stocking stuffer. That's $149 stocking stuffer. I know, dude. Good Jesus.
By the time the holiday rolls around, you'll probably see it at $89.99.
I could get behind that.
Depending on when it drops in 2020.
Well, apparently you can buy a 2DS XL for $149 as well. So
Sounds like a better investment.
got some competition. It seems like.
Yeah, at that price point.
We'll keep an eye out for it. I want to see where this thing goes. I want to see if it flops or if it takes off magically. Usually,
Who's creating this?
It's they're actually a game developer. They're the team that made Firewatch, I believe, and they're called, what's the name of their company? Panic, I believe.
Well, Panic, if you're listening, just send us one, and we'll review it.
The shit out of it.
I'll crank the fuck out of it.
I'll crank the shit out of it. You don't know how hard I'll crank. I'll crank harder than you.
All right, Captain Green Mushroom.
I'm just fucking with you. You're a pretty good cranker.
No, you crank it. You
crank that. All right. Let's talk about some NPDs. How about that? Nothing crazy. Pretty much what you'd expect. I got the where's that? I've got the article pulled up from your lovely neighborhood GameSpot writer. So we got best-selling games here. Mortal Kombat 11 was the best-selling game for April, and it also broke a pretty cool record. It's the first time a third-party game has, or the first time in 10 years, I believe is what it was. Last game to do it was Guitar Hero 3, but it's the first time that a third-party game was the highest-selling game across all 3 platforms.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yep. So it's pretty cool. And it's also the first time that a Mortal Kombat, or a third party led the Switch's top seller list.
Good point.
The last one to do that was Mario Rabbids. So,
that's kind of cheating though, since it's technically third party, but I consider it more first party.
I do too, because it was Nintendo and Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
As far as hardware goes, no surprise, the Switch was the best-selling console. Outperformed the PlayStation and the Xbox. And as far as accessories go, you looking like Amiibo Super Smash Bros. Series sold the best. And followed behind the DualShock. So Amiibo's still killing the game, huh?
Well, DualShocks are $60. You only need so many for your controller or for your system. And Amiibos are like $15.
Right.
And they're collectible, so not really comparable.
Right.
Yeah, some of these things just like I'm not even picking up on. It's like the Switch outselling the PS4 at this point is like that's going to happen almost every month.
Yeah. And there's
the PS4's been out for so long.
And then so I've got the full list of the best-selling games. So let's go over it. We can go. They've got 20. You want to go all the way to 20? I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Just do 10.
Let's do 10.
Yeah, just do the top 10.
Mortal Kombat 11, Days Gone, MLB 19 The Show, The Division 2, Super Smash Bros.
Still killing it.
No surprise here. Grand Theft Auto 5 still at number 6. God.
Jesus.
Sekiro, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, NBA 2K19, and to round out the top 10, Yoshi's Crafted World. So
pretty solid list.
It is, yeah. And some of them didn't include digital sales and PC sales. So like the Division 2, digital sales were not included. So
those are harder to track. So
yeah, it's really hard for them to track it. But that's your list. I like the list. I mean, all the games, the top 10 games are, I mean, other than, I would say Yoshi is kind of not surprising. I mean, I didn't figure Yoshi would make it top 10, but hey.
That's a first-party Nintendo game. They almost always sell well.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, Yoshi, to me, it just doesn't usually carry the same gravitas as like Mario or, Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got I like seeing Smash Bros. Up there. I like seeing The Division up there. I like seeing Sekiro still up there. I'm just wondering when Grand Theft Auto is going to be fucking knocked out. It's selling better than Red Dead Redemption 2.
Dude, I think after video games have been dead for like 50 years, it's still going to be outselling everything else.
It's crazy, man. That's like, I really think that might be the best game of our generation. The game of a generation.
I think is it the best selling game of all time?
No, I mean, you still got Tetris and like Minecraft and all that up there, but I mean, it's up there.
I think it might surpass them someday.
Maybe. I mean, that's a lot of units. I mean, I don't even know how many units we at. Let's go down that Google rabbit hole.
Google hole.
What's that game again? Grand Theft Auto 5 sold. It looks like. Come on, Google. This is back as 2014. Let's get a new one. All right, so a year ago, it was at 100 million copies. So that's the newest one I got. No, here we go. Got one for 2019 here, guys. Says sold over 100 million units. Looks like we're at 110 million.
Okay.
And to compare that to Minecraft, which is like the second highest selling game, Minecraft units sold. Minecraft is at 176 million.
It could cross that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they say Tetris is hard to track because of how many times it's came out.
Yeah, that could be the only game that never gets topped just because it's been on every platform imaginable. I don't see GTA doing that.
It looks like they're ranking it at 170. So it looks like Minecraft and Tetris are right beside each other.
Oh, really? I thought Tetris would have been more.
Well, like I said, they can't. It's hard for them. I've seen an article where they say it's hard for them to really track it, but I think that's a guesstimate.
I'd say it's probably closer to 200.
Maybe, yeah. You could probably give them that just to keep them in the game and be safe.
And also, like, they're probably counting all versions of Tetris too. Like, if they were doing that, you'd have to count all versions of GTA.
Yeah.
To make it fair.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's cool to see that. I want to see how. I mean, I think it's been up on the top 10 list since we've at least started this podcast.
It's been on the top 10 since it came out.
Jesus. All right, so let's keep it rocking and rolling. There's your highest selling consoles and games of April. No shockers on there. Some good ones that I enjoyed seeing. So let's move on to the two big hitters, Sony and Microsoft. Sony and Microsoft has teamed up. Like, apparently the stars aligned and the gaming gods had an intervention, divine intervention, and Sony and Microsoft are teaming up and combining their resources when it comes to cloud gaming. So I don't know what that means. I'm sure that they're going to try to combine everything they have to compete with Stadia. But what do you think about it? I mean, do you think are they seeing what Stadia is doing and like we need to compete in this, or are they just doing it because they think that's the next big thing?
I think they're hedging their bets. They just rather you got to compete with Google, or you don't want to let them dominate you and take it all. So they want to get their feet in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo also throws their hat in the ring for streaming and shit. I do
that
think
might
it's
be bad.
I do think it's smart though that Sony teamed up with Microsoft, because Microsoft has the technology and Sony has the games. So that's a lethal 1-2 combo right there.
Yeah, but it's not that they won't share exclusives.
But I mean, I think they will. I think that's what they're doing.
No. I think they just need to come up with a game plan to make this a viable option moving forward with the next generation of consoles.
If they're not sharing exclusives, then what's the point of them teaming up?
I think it's a way for them to bring their best developers in to work on making sure that the service is flawless.
I mean,
that they don't get left behind because a huge tech company has now thrown their hat in the ring.
But then that's what I'm saying, is why would Microsoft need Sony then? Microsoft, I think, has the much better tech.
They have much better tech, but they don't come up with the best service. Just because you have a ton of good hardware doesn't mean that the service is going to be great.
I don't know. A lot of people would argue that Microsoft has better service.
Think about it like this then. You can if Microsoft and Sony come up with a cloud platform, right?
Yeah.
Instead of it being an exclusive to one or the other, then you're now reaching everyone. Does that make sense? So instead of saying Microsoft did it and it's on every Xbox console, now this brand new cloud service that's going on is across every platform, and it can compete, other than Nintendo, obviously, and it can then compete.
That's not going to open up games.
I don't know that
that's not going to take away. That's not going to take away the need for exclusive games on your console.
I don't think that this has anything to do with gaming. I think they're going to be doing a cloud service. I don't think it's going to deal with games.
Why would it have to do with games?
So I mean, it's
cloud gaming.
I think it's going to be a delivery service of games at that point.
Yeah,
it's going to deliver your games quicker to you.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that Microsoft exclusives stay exclusive, Sony stays exclusive, but they have, let's call it, one app where you can stream them instantly, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what they're building. I don't think they're building games. I think they're basically pooling their resources and developers to make the platform to then get their games quicker over the cloud.
I agree with that, but I do think, in my opinion, I think that they're also going to have, like, you'll be able to play, like, Uncharted games on the Xbox and Halo games on the PlayStation through this service.
I think that's a terrible idea.
That would be crazy.
Hey, Microsoft's done dumb shit.
I mean, that would be absolutely terrible.
They've killed their exclusives by playing all their exclusives on the PC.
Yeah, I don't know. What's the point of having exclusives then? At this, I mean, the age of the exclusive would be dead at that point.
Well, it's exclusive to PlayStation and Sony. It's not exclusive. It's not going to be on the Nintendo, and it's not going to be on the Stadia.
That's
where they get them.
Your version. Jeremy's got that Kmart version.
Fuck Jeremy.
Yeah, sorry, I'm the only guy here who doesn't give a shit about Google's whatever machine. But
Stratosphere. That's what it's called.
The Google Stratosphere.
That's what I think they're doing. I think they're teaming up to go against Google. And if they can get a streaming service with both their exclusives
well then
on it,
in that breath, why the fuck are they making two new consoles?
because they're also going to have it for physical formats, because not everyone wants to do fucking cloud gaming.
But why couldn't you just build one unit and then all the physical games go there as well?
Well, you'd have to ask them.
No, I'm asking you because that's your argument
I'm just saying
that you think exclusive games are going to go away with this service.
Dude, I didn't say exclusive games are going to go away. They're still going to be on these systems.
But you're saying so then instead of being exclusive to Sony or exclusive to Microsoft, you're saying it's going to be exclusive to both of them. So there'll be no more exclusives when it comes to those two platforms. They'll be shared amongst each other.
You're not going to play Uncharted on a Switch or Uncharted on Google, but you could possibly. I'm also not saying they were going to put every single exclusive on each platform. Like if they do Uncharted 5, it might not go to this service or Xbox, whatever. But you might be able to play like the first 3 Uncharted on this service.
I think, man, I don't know. I don't know if I can get that far. I think if anything to do with games, then they'll team up and create a game together that's exclusive on the service.
And I could see that too.
I don't know that. I just see I see the exclusives staying exclusives, and if they do anything regarding gaming, they just make new ones.
But I'm saying, I do think they could go into their old catalogs. It's not going to hurt them to have, Halo be available. 'Cause think about this. If Xbox puts the original Halo trilogy available on a PlayStation console, that's more money for them and for Sony.
You can still do timed
At
exclusives.
that point, the expectation is going to be you have to give me the next Halo game on my PlayStation.
Not necessarily.
They could do timed exclusive, so you can have all the old library, and then it's going to be exclusive on Xbox for 6 months or whatever. I don't know.
Microsoft fucking loves their timed exclusives.
I think it's a far reach, Jerry Bear.
I can't even get behind that.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was in stone. I just think that's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could see a way they could do it. I just don't know why they would do it, if that makes sense.
Like I said, the only reason I think they would even do it is just to fuck over Google. Honestly, I think if this Google thing wasn't happening, they wouldn't even consider this. They just keep doing what they're doing. Like I said, they're trying to hedge their bets, and they know they can't do it apart, so they have to team up and form the fucking Avengers to fight Google Thanos.
That's what it feels like
and
at
the
this
Stavia
point.
Gauntlets.
I'm telling you, Google's going to shake up. It's going to be amazing. I can't fucking wait.
I don't think it's going to be amazing. I think it's just more your hype.
Oh, Jeremy.
Yes.
All right. Let's keep rocking and rolling. We're almost to the end, ladies and gentlemen. We got 2 more to go. First off, one of mine and Carmen's favorite games in the whole world, DC Universe Online, is coming to the Switch. And the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking that game is made for the Switch. It is perfect.
How is it, though?
You mean as a game?
No, well, think about it. It's an online-only game, right?
Yeah.
And this is a portable console.
Right. You'd have to be on Wi-Fi somewhere.
Yeah, I just don't think portable games are going to do fantastic on the Switch because they have to be online all the time. That's what I meant to say. Online games aren't going to be good on the Switch. They're better for, consoles when you're at home with a stable connection.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that does hamper it a little bit.
I just personally, I don't travel that much with my Switch.
True, but that's the biggest selling point is it's portable. And so if you're going to buy an online game, you're really only going to be able to play. If you travel a lot and you take it with you, you're not going to be able to play it everywhere you go, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think with a game like DC Universe, it is perfect for the fact that you can bring it on your couch and any other game, like I was playing Cuphead, and then you can play. But it's like if I was on a plane, first off, like the Wi-Fi on the planes are going to be trashola. I wouldn't try to fire up DC Universe. If anything, I'm going to just sit there and play like Mario Kart or Cuphead.
Now, it would be cool if they could add like an offline mode where you could just like grind in like some, I don't know, do some kind of missions or something, and then have an online mode for at home.
I don't think the game breathes an offline mode.
I don't know.
It really doesn't. It's like basically like think of EverQuest and WoW. Like it needs to be online for those experiences. You have to team up with people to do the raids and the hard instances and stuff. So I don't think it breathes that way.
So that's why I think it's going to be serviceable on the Switch, but I think it's still going to be best played on either a PC or a dedicated console.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that, honestly. And I'm very surprised the game's still going. I mean, it's still got a following, and I'm glad to see that. I just, last time we fired it up, we got into it and then just stopped.
Yeah, I think because you ran out of money.
It's because other games were out.
It's because Cam ran out of money to spend on power crystals.
I didn't spend any money this time except for $10.
You're in there.
I'd be interested more in playing it on the Switch because then I wouldn't feel bad about picking it up for 2 hours and putting it down, and then when I'm laying in bed watching TV on a Saturday when I'm being lazy, I could just grab it, run around a bit. The only downfall that I see is the chat system.
Well, that's terrible in the game version anyway without a keyboard.
Not even. I'm not talking about the typing portion. The typing portion would be easy on the Switch.
Touchscreen.
You just touch it, and a virtual keyboard comes up like you're on your cell phone.
Are you saying like the actual chatting, like the actual headset?
I'm talking like the way that me and you are talking right now.
I got you.
I would just say just use Discord on your phone. It's better than going through Nintendo's bullshit system.
Just buy your 2 dongles and be done with it.
So I think that's a hurdle.
Yeah, I mean, it probably isn't going to be the best place to play, and they're probably just throwing it on there to make a little bit of extra money. You know what I mean? Make sure it's on all consoles.
Mm-hmm. It's still a good move, but I don't think it's going to be the best way to play.
No, the best way to play is Google Stadia. All right, finally. I just brushed over that.
That's Google's Stadium. Thank you.
Google Pokemon Snap Stadium. Last, but certainly not least, the walk-in billboard Fortnite has teamed up with Nike.
Oh boy!
And like it or not, I mean, they get some big exclusives, man. They get some big hookups. Avengers, John Wick, Nike, NFL. I mean, they do work.
It's almost like if you're just a big video game that a lot of 14-year-olds play, you can just get all kinds of advertisement put on there.
There's a lot of fucking advertising. There's no doubt.
Yeah. That's like being impressed that, oh man, did you see that football stadium got a new billboard out front? How did they get that hookup?
I'm anxious to see what they do. I'm guessing it's just skins. I was saying before the show that I wish they would do
the and things like that.
The fucking pick that was a Nike check. That would be so fucking dope.
I think
it's a smart move.
I think it's a smart move business wise. I think it's gonna be lame. I mean, at least with like Marvel and John Wick, there's actual skins and like they look like characters. This is just gonna be, they're wearing Nike shoes.
I know though, it's a full character skin. It's not just shoes.
Yeah, but I mean, what are you gonna? Who are you gonna play as? That's interesting.
Nike
you don't
Man.
Have to play as you're playing as a pre-built character like every other one.
Who's a walking billboard for Nike?
But can you
think
when
Nike like everything else?
And that sounds fucking lame as shit.
Nike comes out with those Fortnite high tops. You know how many kids are gonna make their parents go get them? Carmen was saying it earlier. Hit it on the head. They're gonna be making them.
I'm not saying this is gonna be financially lucrative. I'm just saying it's fucking stupid and lame.
I mean,
yeah, it's like Nike already didn't have a hard time selling shoes.
Yeah.
So now they cut a check to Fortnite to get more 14-year-olds hooked on whatever the shoe that they've put in there. They like literally could make Air Force Ones popular again just by jumping them into Fortnite.
So I just know, like, whenever I'm playing a game and there's like an optional skin that's just an advertisement for something, I go out of my way not to choose it.
I think, like it or not, Fortnite has it can actually like change the culture. Like it's got enough power where people are coming to it for advertising. It's shaking up the video game world. Like, it's crazy how much power this game's had.
It's its own influencer. Like, it doesn't need Ninja in any of the streamers.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
It's crazy.
They literally can drop something in there. They could make, like, if they wanted to help push a game for Sony or for Xbox, they could easily do that. All Sony would have to do is cut the check, put the God of War skin in there, and then God of War will sell double what is sold.
Oh, yeah. And they'll take it. They'll take that money.
Oh, we're doing Halo. The new Halo put Master Chief in there or put the vehicle in there exclusive to Xbox. Boom.
I'm waiting for the Preparation H tie-in where all the characters have hemorrhoids.
You got Ass Man.
Got 14-year-olds. Mom, we need some Preparation H.
Yeah. Like, if we could just get on one billboard in the world of Fortnite, our podcast would get fucking 5 million subscribers in an hour.
And then we go back down to 100 after the first podcast.
After they hear Jeremy talking about dicks.
I don't know, 14-year-olds might be into that.
I'm just going to... Let's take our bets right now. What's the next Fortnite advertisement? I'm thinking it's cars. So Ford, Chevy, Dodge, something like that.
I'm thinking it's some whatever new popular movie's coming out. Maybe something from Disney.
So you're going back on the movie train?
Yeah, they seem to
I
do that
think
more
it goes
often.
better with the movie train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toy Story 4.
Oh, I can
Okay.
see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yep. That's a good one. I forgot about Toy Story 4, man. It's coming, isn't it?
It's coming.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want it, but it's coming.
Yeah, I
We'll
wasn't impressed.
We'll see. I like Toy Story. It kind of lost me after number 2.
I still like the third one, but the fourth one, it's not grabbing me. Pixar hasn't been impressing me for a while.
Yeah, I'm not the only one that thinks that. I'm glad because I haven't had anything that really grabbed me lately.
I think it's just 'cause I'm getting old and cynical. Older and cynical.
No, because I'm getting older and you're more cynical than I am, but still, I get what you're saying. But that's it for the news. We came to the end. Did we miss anything? Did we forget anything? Did we leave out anyone? We probably did, but it's going to be okay, right?
Nah, we got everything.
Well, you know what we get to do now, something we haven't done in a long time.
Long time.
We get to SuperFight.
It's time for a
Super Fight!
All right, it's been so long. I'm pretty sure it is Jeremy and Carmin.
I really can't even remember.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure, Jeremy, you're back on your winning streak.
Okay.
Remember, you beat
And
me.
the last time you went on a winning streak, you fucking went the distance for a while, and then now you're back at it again.
Ah.
Yeah,
okay.
you
So I'm
beat
grabbing
me
from the trusty old deck.
with
Okay.
What was your character? I can't remember now.
I can't even.
You
All
were.
right.
I think it was. Weren't we on an airplane with jetpacks and something?
I
don't remember.
Wonder Woman and Rocket?
maybe.
Raccoon?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Who knows? That was
All
one
right.
of them.
Yeah.
Regardless, Jeremy,
Yes.
you're the champ. So
All right.
pick your character 1 to 5.
2.
You are Genghis Khan.
Okay.
I'm going to
Solid,
take
solid.
the 4th card, and I am a mummy.
Okay.
This is
Get
a pretty
some
good one.
powers.
All right. We can work with this.
We are Genghis Khan, who can throw fireballs
Ooh. Nice.
and throws bears.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Slaying.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus, that's some good powers.
I'm a mummy who shoots bees from my mouth.
Ooh, nice.
Pretty strong power.
It seems appropriate, too.
And I'm a super genius.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be a good fight. I
This
like
is
it.
actually, I like this one. I like more like stuff like this.
Yeah, this is cool.
All right. Our location is the 50s. Doesn't
All
really
right.
do much for us.
Not really.
But we're in the 50s.
Okay.
And our scenario now is all attribute cards have been disabled.
Okay.
So
all right,
we're
so it
a mummy versus Genghis Khan
in the 50s.
in the 50s.
All right. All right. I can still work with this.
All right. Well, I'm getting the old trusty dusty stopwatch going. Jeremy, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay. Jeremy's coming up as Genghis Khan, and your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Well, as Genghis Khan, I was one of the greatest warlords that ever existed. Nearly conquered all of China. So I definitely have battle strategy going for me. I have armor to protect me. I'm an expert with a bow and arrow. I'm also an expert swordsman. It ain't going to take much. Mummies are extremely slow. You've been dead and decaying for quite a long time. You're not going to put up much of a fight. I can just run up and cut off your head with a sword, chop you up your whole body. I can just shoot a flaming arrow at you. It just burn you alive to the ground. If you even somehow manage to get a hold of me, you're not going to be able to do much damage to me. I got armor on to protect me. And again, if you're close, just chop you in half with a sword. Go about my day. Bing, bang, boom. Don't even need my Mongols. Time.
All right. 45 seconds. Jeremy came out the gate swinging. Let's see what Carmen's got. Carmen, your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Bro, I'm just going to hang out in my tomb. In my pyramid. There's traps everywhere. I dare you to try to find me. You're going to step into this pyramid. You're going to open the wrong door. Arrows are going to fly out. Brat, brat. Come on. There's nothing that can be done. There's still mummies that haven't been found. It's 2019. They're still looking for people. I'm one of those guys. I got this fucked up. My brain went off the rails.
Is that
That's
it?
the best
Is
kind.
that your time, Carmen?
Yeah.
All right. Jeremy, let's hear this rebuttal in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, I'm fighting the mummy. I'm not fighting his tomb. Also, a mummy can't even beat fucking Abbott and Costello. You're not gonna be able to beat a fucking warlord like fucking Genghis Khan, baby. No, I specialize in all this combat and shit. You don't think I've seen traps before? Besides, we're in the fucking roaring 50s. All I gotta do is just ride up to you, chop off your head, you're done. I'm used to fighting in the desert. That's even if we're in the desert. So, like I said, you got nothing. I'm out. I got more weapons, more armor. You got stank and musk.
Stank and musk. All right, Carmen.
Time.
Yeah?
I throw my hat in. I had a chance with my powers.
Yes,
After that, I had nothing to fight with.
That was quite one-sided. I'm sorry, but Genghis Khan best a mummy 10 times out of 10.
I will say I'm disappointed.
You don't have to apologize to me.
I'm disappointed we didn't get to use the powers because I was going to throw a bear at you and then light it on fire with a fireball. And that was going to be so fucking awesome. I will say, though, Carm, you missed a prime opportunity, man. You could have been the mummy from the Brendan Fraser movie. Had, like, magic powers and shit. Could have summoned, like, fucking dust storm or sandstorms and crap.
But Jeremy, pick your unpowered fighter.
You were strong that way, so.
Okay. Is it 1 through 3?
I mean, it can be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You pick.
I
can mold your number to my numbers.
Okay, 7.
All right.
Yeah.
You're Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
All right.
Now, are you movie Sherlock Holmes or book Sherlock Holmes?
I am the Sherlock Holmes that Robert Downey Jr. played in the movie.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take number 3.
You are my ex.
Ooh.
We're going to make it your ex.
Okay.
So you pick the craziest one you have.
Gabby.
Oh, God.
I know nothing.
And I'm a bodybuilder.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I'm just going to nag you both to death. So, I'm going to win it 100%. You start fucking with me, I'm just going to whip out a titty, hit you both in the face, squirt some titty milk everywhere.
I'm going to be a female bodybuilder so I can beat her up and not feel bad about it.
I think I got to tap out on this one.
Okay.
I don't have anything. The powers of bitch don't apply here.
Oh, man. Man, oh, man.
All right, y'all two fight
Jeremy,
it out.
what
Let
do
me
you
hear
have?
what you got.
I was right. I was kind of hoping you were going to stay in because I was going to use Holmes's analytic ability to go, just, man, I'm not much messing with this crazy bitch. She was crazy enough to date Cam.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
But I think Sherlock Holmes, he's going to fight that bodybuilder. Dude, if you've seen Sherlock Holmes, he beats the shit out of bodybuilders in those movies. He just does that, like, right palm down, bridge to the elbow. He analyzes every little thing. Your strength ain't going to be nothing. He's going to take you down with the pressure points. He's going to break your fucking jawbone, break your collarbone, throw you to the ground. He's not even going to take a fucking blow. Because he's fucking Robert Downey Jr., Sherlock Holmes.
All right, Carmen, what you got, buddy?
Well, while you're trying to calculate my next move, I'm just going to grab you by your little fucking peanut Robert Downey Jr. head. I'm just going to squeeze the fuck out of it. And then when I drop you, I'm just going to uppercut your ass, put you right to sleep.
For me, if I have to pick, I've got to go with Sherlock Holmes.
All right.
He fights really big motherfuckers in those movies. I mean, big dudes.
If I had picked any other version of Sherlock Holmes, it wouldn't have gone well. So.
Oh yeah, if you're like the book Sherlock Holmes, you'd have got dusted by a bodybuilder.
Oh yeah, he's a decent fighter in the books, but as decent as a dude, like a British dude from the fucking like 1800s could be, which isn't much.
Yeah. Book Sherlock Holmes is not as badass. They definitely pumped up the badassness for the movie version.
It's so much better.
But hey, at least you beat me, Carmen.
Hey.
Well, I guess that's it. If nobody has anything left to say, then Carmen, you can get us out of here.
Well, like always, make sure you're checking us out on YouTube because we're dropping the Fire Select Starts. Smash is coming on Tuesday, and I think there's 4 or 5 episodes, and then that will conclude Season 3. And then we'll be scheduling up a new recording session and getting more content straight to your YouTubes. So definitely hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. And like always, play on and stay
Hella
average. Peace.
out.